Well, I think I pushed the wrong button. There we go. These jewels hold the key to your desires, the power of Buddhism. This morning's lesson is drawn from my adaptation of Lama Gyatso's Buddha Shakyamuni's recitations and meditations and recitations. So, together as a team, let's chant this passage. And of course, it'd probably be easier for us to chant it if I centered it to the left. Okay, here we go. I and all my kind mothers sing the stress of hating, craving, and confusion's tyranny. Turn to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the only sources of refuge. From now until enlightenment, to the three jewels we go for refuge. All complex life forms on this planet evolved to think symbolically. Perhaps that is why figurative language is ubiquitous. A wonderful example of this is found in the final couplet. The three jewels. This is short for the three wish-fulfilling jewels. What does that mean? Well, here in the West, we are familiar with the story that's only a couple hundred years old. It's called The Tale of Aladdin's Lamp. And basically, you rub the lamp, a genie comes out and gives you three wishes. Well, in ancient India, their version of that was instead of a wish-fulfilling lamp, it was a wish-fulfilling jewel. So to call someone a wish-fulfilling jewel literally means they fulfill your wishes. Figuratively, it means they help your life to work better. So if we were to take a literal view of this, we would find ourselves in a predicament. You see, the fundamental duality of Buddhism is that of dread and desire. Well, if we are wishing left and right, if we are practicing magic, or at least magical thinking, we're going to get more and more entrenched in that duality, which is darkly ironic. Here, though, we play with the idea that perhaps there's a way to play with these three jewels that will free us from this quagmire of always trying to indulge our controlling tendencies in a way that shoves away our dreads and reaches for our desires. So in Buddhism, it is taught that the ultimate three jewels. Well, let me jump back for a second. Sturgeon's Law reminds us that 90% of everything is crap. So it should come as little surprise that 90% of meditation teachers think that the path of yang is a marvelous idea. That 90% of Buddhist teachers think it's just Jim Dandy to be rigid, fearful, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. When I discovered this, I was really shocked. Fortunately, there exists a minority who embrace the path of yin, the path of being flexible, loving, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. And so from the latter perspective, the true source of wish fulfillment is following the Buddha's example, applying the Buddha's instructions, and cooperating with the Buddha's students. If the Buddhist students have mastered the path, then learn from them. If they are just an everyday slob like yourself, then learn how to share your talents with them gratis and rely on their talents gratis in a cooperative way. Transcending the paradigm of the zero-sum game, transcending the destructive habit of living in competition, and switching to the mind stream of cooperation is the key to a happy, peaceful, and fulfilling life. We start at the very top. I and all my kind mothers. Literally, we would view all living beings, those who have been born, those who are born, those who will be born, as reincarnations or rebirths of our previous kind mothers. Figuratively, we say, just if we had a mother who was kind, us feeling empathy for them would be effortless. Let us cultivate a universal empathy for all beings as if each of them had been our kind mothers from a previous life. We continue. I and all my kind mothers, seeing the stress of hating, craving, and confusion's tyranny. So this is important. The liberation the Buddha offers us is not from the presence of hating, craving, and confusion, for they are hardwired into our central nervous system. This hating and this craving provide an important evolutionary purpose from the perspective of survival. For instance, it's important to evade a hungry tiger. It's important to breathe air, drink water, and make use of shelter. And of course, to procreate if our species is to have a future. So there's nothing terrible about these capacities. The problem is their tyranny. You see, as you probably already know, allow me to remind you that as complex life forms, we have two reward systems. A dopamine-oriented reward system that rewards for very short-term pleasure, and an oxytocin-oriented reward system that rewards for long-term cooperation. As a species, we are not fleet of foot, sharp of claw, nor long of fang. But, be it pack or herd or tribe, we can cooperate. And even during the Iron Age, he who would eventually become the Buddha was able to recognize that most of us are stuck between these two reward systems, the short term and the long term. Before the Buddha was the Buddha, when he was this Prince Siddhartha, the legend tells us he was raised a prince. There was no pleasure or privilege that was not at his disposal. But even he could see the limitations of living that way. So what is the liberation the Buddha offers us? Freedom not from the presence of hating, craving, and confusion, but from the tyranny. And so the basic message of this recitation is that by relying upon the Buddha's example, instructions, and students, we too can master this liberation. So before we conclude this morning's lesson, it's important that I remind you of a few things. Upon the path of Yang, they just keep moving the goalposts further and further because that's what patriarchy does. It exploits its minions, which is really yucky. Upon the path of Yin, it's very pragmatic. When we read the second to the last passage of the Satipatthana Sutta, we learn that full enlightenment can be mastered in less than 7 years, or 7 quarters, or 7 months, or 7 fortnights, or 7 weeks, or even 7 days. So if something can be mastered in 7 days, it's pretty simple. And here's what it is. Enlightenment is simply the mastery of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. When I was a child, I thought learning to tie my shoelaces seemed like an insurmountable task. Now I can tie them spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. Same thing with brushing our teeth. Same thing with washing dishes. You get the basic idea. Once we're able to practice the Eightfold Path spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively, then we are enlightened according to the Buddha. And so we see there is no use for magical thinking. There is no use for moving the goalposts. Mastery of the Buddha's path need not be an arduous practice. In fact, coming to these live streams every 12 hours or so, you can probably do it in 16 weeks. I do look forward to chanting and meditating with you after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I spent more than 8 hours a day, every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of Buddhism so that you would not have to. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. Together, let's chant. May the whole ground become completely pure, as level as the palm of a hand and as smooth as lapis lazuli. May all of space be filled with offerings from gods and men, most adult and imagined like offerings of the All-Good One. In the space in front on a lion's throne on a cushion of lotus, sun and moon, sits Buddha Shakyamuni, the essence of all my kind teachers, surrounded by the assembly of direct and indirect gurus. Whoops, what happened there? Yidams, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas. Take this again. Yidams, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, heroes, solitary conquerors, heroes, dakinis, and dharma protectors. I and all my kind mother, seeing the stress of hating, craving, and confusion's tyranny, turn to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the only sources of refuge. This part right here, let's recite 3 times. From now until enlightenment, to the 3 jewels we go for refuge. From now until enlightenment, to the 3 jewels we go for refuge. From now until enlightenment, to the 3 jewels we go for refuge. May I liberate all beings by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students to master the Eightfold Path. One moment. Let's see here. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny. Okay. Guys, I'll be right back. And I'm back. Sorry to keep you waiting. Had to do the do-si-do with the water delivery guy. Okay. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hate, engraving, and confusion by relying upon the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hate, engraving, and confusion by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hate, engraving, and confusion by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. From the hearts of all refuge objects, lights and nectar stream down and dissolve into myself and all living beings, purifying the negative karma and obstructions, as well as increasing our lives, all virtues and dharma realizations. Okay, so now we come to this morning's first meditation. Please bear with me. Sadly, I think I'm going to be saying that phrase a lot. Let's see here. Over here. And 1, 2, 3. Copy. Back over here. Okay, so this whole thing about us imagining blessings coming down, that's just a fancy way of practicing bliss and letting go, which is known by many names, including Anu Yoga, Bindu Mahamudra, and Tikle, chant, which is short for channels, winds, and drops. So I contest that you can master meditation, the technique of, you can learn all you need to know about mindfulness and meditation in 4 easy steps that are kind of like this. As children, the first bicycle we most likely received came with training wheels. And although those training wheels were in fact clunky, they did get the job done. So our first question is this: what is this mindfulness business? Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we access the sympathetic nervous system automatically. Ensconced not within the 3-pound supercomputer between our ears, it is found in the thoracic region of our spinal cord. It evolved not to indulge either extreme of mind blanking or concentration. Instead, it evolved to simply notice, and to do so vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. This vulnerability is visually represented by the nudity of this meditation archetype, which could be described in Sanskrit as Samantabhadra, Samantabhadri, Karama Mudra. So we mentioned that mindfulness is the alternative to concentration. Well, if that's the case, what's our relationship to the breath, so as we're no longer trying to concentrate upon it? And the answer is simple. Our relationship to the breath is the same as a pianist, a student of music's relationship to their metronome. As we notice ourselves breathing in, we can silently and mentally recite, perceiving this very turbulent play of mind. And as we exhale, we can silently and mentally recite, relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. Let's meditate. A delightful practice of my favorite Dzogchen lamas is to alternate between chanting, and resting the mind. Let's return to chanting. May everyone be free from stress, may everyone be happy, may no one be separated from the happiness, may everyone have balance free from the... Oh, let's try this again. Okay. So what we want to do is delete this here and delete this here. Okay, that's better. And we can make this one a little bit bigger. That's what she said. Okay. May everyone be free from stress, may everyone be happy, may no one be separated from the happiness, may everyone have balance from the tyranny of hate and craving and confusion freed. You protector of all beings, great destroyer of hosts of demons, please, O blessed one, knower of all, come displace with your retinue. With my body, speech, and mind humbly I bow, and make offerings passat ad imagined un momento. Aha. I confess my wrong deeds from all time and rejoice in the virtues of all. Please stay until samsara ceases and turn the wheel of dharma for us. I dedicate all virtues to great enlightenment. The ground sprinkled with perfume and spread with flowers, a great mountain fall on sun and moon. Seen as a Buddha's land and offered, thus may all beings enjoy such pure lands. I offer without any sense of loss the objects that give rise to my hating, craving, and confusion. My friends, enemies, and strangers, all bodies and enjoyments. Please accept these and bless me to be released directly from the three poisons. Yidam Guru Ranamandalakam Niryatayami. Okay, so let's continue. Going back to all the way over here so I can grab this heading. Okay, so offering the mandala is an opportunity for us to practice more bliss and letting go. For we hold the mudra or gesture at our heart. Paste. Okay, so now let's remove the first of two metaphoric training wheels, reducing the length of our contemplative exercise from 12 syllables down to just 3. We've already explored mindfulness. Now, in mindfulness, and I should have mentioned this a few moments ago, in mindfulness, what we notice are sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like, as well as emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. Now we're going to answer the musical question, what do we do with all those things once we notice them? We meditate, but how does that work? Every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, we are accessing our parasympathetic nervous system ensconced within the lower lumbar region of our spinal cord, as well as the tippy top of the cervical region. It evolved for both physical relaxation as well as mental release. So let's put this in context. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever we noticed during our previous inhalation could begin to feel less graspable. Now, let's sprinkle some figurative language upon that. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever we noticed during our previous inhalation could begin to feel as if it was as non-graspable as a vast, empty void. Now, what's a real-world example of a non-graspable, vast, empty void? How about the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although is tantalizing to the eye, is intangible to the hand? Perhaps that is why this meditation archetype, known in Tibet as Kuntu Zangpo, Kuntu Zangmo, Yabyum, is depicted as being comprised of light, translucent and not graspable. As we inhale, we can exercise our perception by silently and mentally reciting sitting tall, thus generating a vertical traction between our tuchus and our head. During our releasing exhalation, we can silently and mentally recite relaxing. Let's do that together right now. Kind Lama, please come to this crown and lavish me with the blessings of your body, speech, and mind. I make request to you, Buddha Shakyamuni, whose body comes from countless virtues, whose speech fulfills the hopes of mortals, whose mind sees clearly all existence. I make request to you, lamas of the lineage of extensive deeds venerable by Maitreya, noble Sangha Vasubandhu, and all the precious lamas who have revealed the path of vastness. I make request to you, lamas of the lineage of profound view, venerable Manjushri, Nagarjuna Chandakirti, and all the precious lamas who have revealed this most profound path. I make request to you, lamas of the lineage of secret mantra conqueror Vajradhara, Tilopa and Naropa, who have, and all the other precious lamas who have revealed the path of Tantra. I make request to you, lamas of the Kadam lineage, the second Buddha Tishadram Tonpa, Geshe Potowa, and all the other precious lamas who have revealed the union of vast and profound paths. I make request to you, lamas of the Ganden lineage, which sounds like I'm cussing, doesn't it? I make request to you, lamas of the Ganden lineage, Venerable Tsongkhapa Jean-Pel Gyatso, Kadrubje, and all the other precious lamas who have revealed the union of Sutra and Tantra. I make request to you, Venerable Dalai Lama, protector of a vast ocean of living beings, unequal teacher of the paths of liberation and enlightenment. Oh, goodness. Oh. Insert pictures. Let's go to Buddha. Earth touching. Let's go to this one here. Let's see, insert pictures. Let's go over here to pictures, Buddhist yoga. Let's scroll down to training. Let's find a Jim Dandy painting of Mila Repa. Looking under the M. And let's see. Uh-huh. Okay. I make request to you, Lama, protector of a vast ocean of living beings, unequal teacher of the paths of liberation and enlightenment, who accomplish and explain everything that was revealed by the fourth deliverer of the Sochanateon. I make request to you, my kind precious Lama, who care for those with uncontrolled minds, untamed by all the previous Buddhas, as if they were fortunate disciples. Please pour down your inspiring blessings upon myself and all my mothers, so that we may quickly stop all perverse mindsets, from disrespect of our kind Lama to the most subtle dual appearance. Please pour down your inspiring blessings, so that we may quickly generate pure mindsets, from respect of our kind teacher to the supreme mind of union. Please pour down your inspiring blessings to pacify all outer and inner obstructions. Oh, goodness. Oh. All right, one moment. We've talked about mindfulness. We've talked about meditation. Let's review the benefit of the two. You see, if we, instead of practicing mindfulness, we practice concentration, and instead of practicing meditation, we practice contemplation, our blood's going to coalesce at our aggressive and anxious amygdala, making us pretty miserable. However, by replacing concentration with mindfulness, by replacing contemplation with meditation, our blood coalesces at our anterior cingulate gyrus, located just a few centimeters behind our forehead. It functions as the hub of our mirror neurons, the seat of empathy. It's been said that the highest love is spontaneous and uncontrived from the practice of mindfulness and meditation. Perhaps that is why the meditation archetype, known as all good father and mother, are depicted as rather beautiful. Something is a bit off. Or not. Okay. Let's continue. So as we inhale, let's silently and mentally recite notice this, and as we exhale, let's silently and mentally recite relaxing. Let's chant from this adaptation of Foundation of All Good Qualities. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind Lama. Cultivating the Lama property is the root of the path. Realizing this clearly with great diligence, may I rely on the Lama with highest devotion. Only once won this glorious birth of freedom by appreciating its rarity and meaningfulness. With a mind that makes the most of its essence day and night, may I generate this throughout. May I generate this thought continuously without cease. So let's play with these contemplations. The motions of body and life are so like a bubble swiftly perishing, therefore contemplate impermanence. Or after this life, just as a shadow follows from good and bad karmic fruits pursue us. With his firm conviction, abandoning even the smallest non-virtue, and engaging in every virtuous deed, may I always live conscientiously. Samsara splendors are never satisfying, they are unreliable, indeed, or to all misery. Seeing these faults, may I generate intense enthusiasm for the joy of Nirvana's peace. Inspired by this immaculate determination with mindfulness, alertness, and great conscientiousness, may I pursue the Pratimoksha vows, the root of the teachings, as the core of my practice. Just as I have fallen into the ocean of samsara's resistance, so to have wandering motherly centered repentant beings. Seeing this, may I develop the altruistic mindset that assumes the responsibility to free them all. If this resolve is created, yet habituation in the three ethics of kind communication, conduct, and calmness is lacking, enlightenment cannot be achieved. Realizing this fully, may I train in the Bodhisattva precepts with strong enthusiasm. That which prevents my distractions towards distorted objects and enables analytic penetration into the perfect meaning. Oops, wrong button. Is the integrated path. Is the integrated path of sati's mindfulness and pasati's letting go, letting go. May I quickly produce them in my mind stream. When I am well trained in the common paths and have become a proper vessel for Vajrayana, the pinnacle of all vehicles, may I effortlessly enter the gateway of all fortunate beings. Having discovered with unyielding conviction that the ground for attaining the two forms of siddhis is purely observing the vows and samayas, may I safeguard these more than my life. Having realized the quintessential points of the two stages, the heart of all Tantra, and not wavering from. For daily yoga sessions, may I practice according to the words of the masters. May the Lamas, the beacons of the perfect path, and my enthusiastic companions of long life, may hosts of obstacles, external and internal, all completely subside. In all my lives, may I never be apart from the perfect teachers and fully enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By attaining the complete realization of states and path, may I swiftly attain Vajradhara state. From the heart of Buddha Shakyamuni, infinite light rays emanate, reaching all places and all beings, which melt into rainbow light and absorbs into this field of merit. One moment. The field of merit impermanently melts into rainbow light that interdependently absorbs into Buddha Shakyamuni. Who also impermanently melts into rainbow light, interdependently absorbing into all Lama at our crown. Lama Shakyamuni shrinks to the size of a mustard seed, descends the central channel to this heart, blending with a mind as suitable. Oh, goodness gracious. Here we go. Ah. Okay, please bear with me. This is going to take a moment or two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Copy. Oh, wow, I was not expecting that. Let's see here. All right, so we have, well, this is weird. Let's see here. Let's make this. Hmm. All right. So we're going to remove the second of two metaphoric training wheels, reducing the length of our meditation. Wow, what's going on there? Reducing the length of meditation to just one syllable. So when we observe the gal, the color of a cumulus cloud, actively sporting in tantric union, we are reminded that spontaneity trumps contrivance. When we gaze upon her partner peacefully enjoying the same tantric union, we are reminded that the highest spontaneity is not scattered but centered. When our choices, utterances, and deeds flow from the effortless effort of love-centered spontaneity, our life can be as blissful as a Buddha's real or imagined paradise or pure land or vati, or perhaps like a painting by Maxfield Parrish. As we inhale, we could silently and mentally recite this, and as we exhale, we could silently and mentally recite the verb ease. May our minds relax into the union of awareness and letting go. So let's review the mantra's meaning. With whom we invoke the Muni, wise one, Maha, greatly wise one, Muni, yea, of the Shaka, Soha, enlightenment for all. Now let's play with Mantra Mala Yoga. One moment, if you please. Okay. One, two, three, copy. Let's hit paste. Kawabanga. All right. All right, so welcome to the wild world of mantra meditation. We're going to practice awareness and letting go, which is known by many names, including Dzogchen's Great Completion Stage, Hatha Yoga, Sutra Mahamudra, Triksho, and Triksho's slice through the duality of dread and desire. During our inhalation, we're going to silently and mentally recite relaxing into this, which begs the question, what is this? This refers to whatever we spontaneously notice when we breathe in, whether that which we notice is external or internal or physical or mental or pleasurable or painful or interesting or boring or glorious or grotesque. We simply call it this. During our exhalation, we physically relax as best we can while striving to chant this mantra 4 times per breath. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yeswa. 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 Why is this meditation archetype known as All Good One? Because we are, metaphorically speaking, each of us are all good. We already have the neurological equipment for mindfulness, meditation, and empathy. All we need to do is use them. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yeswa. 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 We now come to love and letting go, which is known by many names, including generation or creation stage, Mahayoga, Tantra, Mahamudra, and Toka's leap over competitiveness. Through the virtues I have collected by practicing the stages of the path, may all beings have the opportunity to practice in the same way. However many living beings are all experiencing mental and physical suffering, may the suffering cease through the power of my merit, and may they find everlasting happiness and joy. May everyone experience the happiness of humans and gods and quickly attain enlightenment so that samsara is finally extinguished. For the benefit of all... Okay, so let's pause right here for a bit of the old resting of the mind. For the benefit of all living beings as extensive as space, may I attain great wisdom like that of Manjushri, great compassion like that of Avalokiteshvara, and great power like let's try this again. Great compassion like that of Avalokiteshvara, and great power like that of Vajrapani. The Buddha Dharma is a supreme medicine that relieves all mental pain. So may this precious Dharma jewel pervade all would surround space. May there arise in the minds of all living beings great example for the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. And thus may they all receive the blessings of the three precious gems. May there never arise in this world the miseries of incurable disease, famine, Or the dangers of earthquakes, fires, floods, and fires, floods, storms, and so forth. May all Mother beings be precious Lamas who reveal the stages of the path to enlightenment, and through engaging in this path may they quickly attain the ultimate peace of all enlightenment. Through the blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the truth of actions and their effects, and the power of my pure superior intention, may all my prayers be fulfilled. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 9¾ hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.